Hi, welcome back. So today's project is to plant up one last pot. I say that with caution because sometimes pots appear in this garden from one place or another. So I've been to the garden centre and I have bought a selection of plants. I will show you each one in turn. And I've also got some plants that of course I've grown from seeds or from cuttings, also to try and put in this one pot. So I'm going to fill it as much as possible with the best selection that I can, and then we will of course revisit it from time to time during different tours just to see how it's getting on. First plant that I have here is called Sweet Talk Lavender Splash. Really beautiful plant. And this one, which I think looks beautiful together, is called a Diaceae cherry blossom. Here is a white fuchsia, still not opened yet, but it's really tiny, delicate white flowers. And I have a number of salvias. So this one is Salvia tutti frutti. Hasn't opened up yet. And another salvia here called Cool Violet. And I think the two will look really pretty together. Now, I'm not sure if I will be able to put the verbena in. So I have tried many times to grow verbena in my garden and it just doesn't seem to want to take. So I've bought mature plants in the hope that these will self-seed around. And then I have a campanula, Landon Anna, nice lilac colour. And then this one is a verbena Buenos Aires. And I have a number of stocks, just a mix of stocks, really nice pastel colours. And then here I have clear crystal white. These look really nice all the way around the rim of a pot. And of course I still have my gladioli. I've still got a number of those still left. Any remaining will just be placed in my beds. I have a pot of Salvia amnestad cuttings that need to get into a large pot. And then just behind there I have cosmos that I grew, and I think those ones are the fuzzy pink. So this is the pot that I am going to plant all the containers. I have a broken piece of pot in here, which I will place over the drainage hole before filling in with compost. Now, one thing, when you go to a garden centre to buy the plants that you would like to put in your container, you've always got to consider buying the right plants for the right situation. So all these plants that I have here love the sun, and they will tolerate part shade. So because my garden has a lot of shade, it's going to go probably either in the sun area here or on my deck, which also is quite sunny. Okay, can't find my gardening gloves. Usually I don't use gardening gloves, I just get stuck in, but I'm just about to start cooking dinner, so hence why the gloves need to go on. Quick turnaround. Okay, so I've placed some compost in the pot. It's always important to break up any lumps and bumps of inside here. Otherwise, it sometimes is a bit difficult for the plants to establish or get their roots all the way around. Now, the plants that I've chosen can be grown in pots or directly into the beds. I like making sure that I've got plants that can do either or. Of course, I do have some annuals, so the annuals, of course, will die back. So they won't go into the beds after the pot. So what I'm going to do is, so for example, with the salvias, some of these are quite tender for frost. I'll try and take some cuttings. Once they have established, I'll keep them somewhere frost free over winter. So hopefully I'll have some of these for the spring next year. I can dig these up and of course place them in the bed, or I can dig them up, place them in pots and then overwinter them in a frost-free environment. So before I start, I'm going to see how many I can get in just by keeping them within the pots. So I think because this is the highest one, this one will definitely go in the centre. You've also got to think about when you're doing a pot, where exactly you're going to place it. So if, for example, it was against a wall or a fence, you may want to just create the height at the back and work your way down to the front. But if you're like me and sometimes you move your pots around, it's a good idea to have all round interest all the way around the pot. And where I'm placing this one is up on the deck, and you can see it in all different angles. So this one will go in the middle, and then there's the salvia here. Now, this is where it becomes really tricky because you will not get all the plants in. So I love this one here, and possibly this one. So already that's just 4 plants. So I will put that one at the back, I think. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be able to get them all in. So straight away, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 plants. I will probably be able to get some gladioli, maybe 2 in here. And I don't think I'll be able to get really anything else in. I'll give it a go and see. But I quite like this arrangement. Um, Not as nice with the fuchsia. No, I think I will actually place the pink because this nice one here, this pink one, um, the cherry blossom, and this one at the front, I think will look really lovely. So I'm going to take them all out of their pots and place them in. All these have been well watered. Oh, this one looks very well rooted. Just tease out the roots. Campanula Landon Anna. I'll see if I can get this one in the middle. May not be able to do that. Usually a good idea as well to leave a gap at the top, maybe of an inch from the top, and that's when you're watering, things don't, the water doesn't splash over the pot. Salvia Tutti Frutti. So now that they're out of the pot, I may be able to get a couple more things at the back here. Or move that to the back. Now, because they're different heights, you may need to pad these up a little bit. Okay, so you can see how I have placed these all in. They're quite tight, and then I must make sure all these gaps are filled in. I'll place all the labels around in a little while, but I think I'll be able to fit a few plants along the edge. So far, so good. Let's try and squeeze this in. So you can see how much root this gladioli has. We can take some of the soil off around it, which will allow it to fit in corner. Okay, I think I will place 2 stocks at the front. pot a shake, and that will settle all the soil in and around. And then once you have watered everything in, there may be some more gaps. Dare I try maybe squeezing in one or two of these, because they're ever so small. Let me see. I think if I can squeeze the very last one here. Now, when you arrange pots with lots of plants inside, it is so important that you regularly feed all these plants because they're all competing for the nutrients. So I shall feed this maybe on a weekly or every second week with a liquid seaweed feed, just to keep them all healthy. So generally, this one, these front ones and the stocks won't last until next year. But the gladioli, the salvia and the campanula will come back year after year if you protect them from the worst of the frost. The gladioli are very hardy, so I'm not worried about those at all. So I'm going to water this pot well in, and then I'll show you the end result in its final position. So I've placed the pot up on the deck. It's very late afternoon now, so it's got the evening sun. So I've managed to squeeze in salvia. So that is the Salvia tutti frutti, campanula in the middle, 2 gladioli, some Dacia, Anora cherry blossom at the front, some Capiria, sweet talk lavender splash at the end. And I've also managed to squeeze in some Cleome, which I have left over, and then at the 2 little ones at the front here I have some larkspur. So hopefully this will bloom all through the summer. Now I have all these plants still remaining. So early on in the video I did say that it may be my last container or my last pot that I'd plant up, but maybe not. So I have remaining some crystal white bedding plants, cosmos, some gladioli, which I may plant in the borders or put them in larger pots, and then any gaps I will just put them in. That's a good way of filling gaps in borders. I have some verbena left, 2 pots of verbena, which I may actually plant in the borders because I've just had no luck with verbena before and I really love the way they look. So I will keep trying. I've got some larkspur left and some fuchsia, really tiny delicate white fuchsia, which is beautiful, and then salvia cool, is it salvia cool violet as well. So I may do one more pot, or I may plant these into the borders. I do hope you will join me for that video in the future, or some other videos that I may be posting shortly. Please do subscribe, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video today. Take care now. Bye.